he was indifferent to qualify at Hensford. He's not a fan of racing at Hensford. He's at the moment he's not really a fan of racing on the tarmac. He's not a fan of racing at Hensford. So he's just happy to have qualified, I think.
He's becoming a bit like Andy Morris used to be. He always seems to be in the world final. And it's good to see him there because at the end of the day, he's a cheeky chap. He gives as he goes, and like I say, he has had a podium in the world final.
Yes, I suppose so. And that's the first. I never thought of comparing Sam Wagner to Andy Morris. No,
Consecutive,
Sam Wagner, the new Andy Morris. It's Sam Wagner.
consecutive appearances is what I'm saying. Matt Linfield, someone you know very well.
Yes, and the only yellow grade driver on the grid at the moment, although his experience does totally belie said yellow roof. He didn't want to be in the world final as a yellow top, I have to admit, and he would admit.
But it didn't rain.
He's there.
It didn't rain on Sunday, did it?
To be honest, yeah, but you might think we've had a rubbish year, but he was telling me a few weeks ago that he's only raced in one wet race up until the bank holiday weekend.
Then it was absolutely biblical.
Then it was, yeah, but then it rained at Bristol, but then of course it dried out for the final, but the engine broke anyway. But hey, he's there. First Briscoe World Final. He has raced in Superstock World Finals before, but yeah, first Briscoe World Final from Matt Linfield.
Excellent. Alongside him, another driver who has been, well, one to watch in the West Country really this year, and he has got a car with, well, I should say, a proud previous owner, shall we say.
Yes, well, I say we're moved to row 11 now, but yeah, Jamie Avery, yeah, with the Bill Batten, ex-Bill Batten, or is it still a Bill Batten car?
I don't know. I don't know whether he's. I think certainly the signing's not really great on it, but I think it's just a case of.
It is true that Jamie is at least taking a sabbatical at the end of the year, so I believe.
Yes. Alongside him, what can we say about this man? Absolute diamond of world champion.
Yes, has been whoever wins this world final, if it isn't George, or even if George wins it again, because this is going to have to go through it all again. But whoever wins this has got a bloody hard act to follow, to put it bluntly.
I mean, like I say, he took the book, he burnt it, and wrote a new one. That is the simple thing on how to be world champion. I mean, he has been everywhere this year, and like I say, I mean, he just is no happier guy. And I tell you what, the pre-meeting entertainment, whatever they've got, if it's a dodgy band or a marching troupe, it will not match the fact of poor old Geomac trying to give the trophy back. He will not want to give that trophy back one bit.
No. But, I mean, obviously talking about the race itself, George obviously down there on row 11. It all went wrong for him really on the very first corner of his semi-final. And the way his wheels ended up after that first lap, with one pointing one way and one pointing the other, he did really well to nurse that car home in the position that he did. Really,
it was a bit like Liam Bentham's drive in the previous year, wasn't it? The car's literally hanging off the pits.
Yes, but yes, very true. And Liam did very well to that with bits of car all hanging off, etc., etc. But bear in mind, of course, that is getting it round a shale track. This Skegness is a very fast little tarmac track. And yeah, George did really well there. And to be honest, he's probably just as well being back there than right at the front.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I think like I say, it'll be a banger race. You can near enough.
Well, it might be. We don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Nice hot rod race, but you never know. There'll be plenty of hot rod races on the Sunday, but to watch, we don't want any more on the Saturday night. But Ryan Wadling is row 9 outside, and that's another. Well, it's the first time he's actually qualified as of right in a world final.
Yes, but he has been in as reserve, of course. Yeah, did very, very well in his semi-final, and even better, meeting final at Skegness, where he came second in the final. Took a lot of damage. August Bank Holiday Monday at Taunton, though, didn't he? With a crash with one of his foes, Mr. Sanson.
Mr. Sanson just decided to go in a little bit too hard and literally went over the top of the 476 car, and well, the rest is history. Unfortunately, it was a cradle incident, a Rockabye stock car, tractor job.
But Ryan has won around Hensford before,
yes.
So yeah, so knows the route
and
around.
Another bloke who's quick round the Midlands, usually round a qualifying round time, Darren Clark.
Yes, it's good to see Darren qualify actually, because we discussed it on here, and I've mentioned it on comms a few times as well. He was really unlucky not to win the Northampton qualifier, and then was even more unlucky to pick up a whole heap of damage, really simply down to the fact that the pace car just didn't get out of the way. I mean, in race they choose to use a pace car. That is entirely their prerogative, but really the two need to be a bit further apart at the green flag, and Darren ended up balked by the pace car, and then sort of casted into the bend and into the plating, and that was that. He did a lot of damage. He came back for the remaining qualifiers, and yeah, it's good to see him.
One wonders if they'll use a pace car on Saturday night. Just for
I believe they're going to.
I just hope they don't wipe out the first few rows. 618 Ben Lockwood makes his I think it's not his debut. I think it's his second appearance in the World Final, but certainly.
I'm thinking it's his first World Final.
Could well be. I can't remember him being in one.
I don't have Dave Tamar's stats.
No, I don't have an encyclopedia this year, and I haven't really done any stats this year because I haven't been blogging it.
I'm thinking it's because he wasn't in last year's. He wasn't at Taunton. And he's still a young driver, so he hasn't been around that long. So yeah, I'm thinking it's his first World Final. And hey, it's that amazing maximum score at the last qualifier at Skegness that got him there. And he's got a choice of two cars as well. He's got the RCE and a DK.
I still haven't forgiven him. For the live show that I did with the points, it was his that I missed out, and it was the final points that I missed out from him, which made my grids all wrong.
and yes,
thus,
you upset someone from Truro.
Yes, indeed, and the wrath of Rosevear was always fun.
Yeah, which you thoroughly deserved.
He is.
I did warn you.
He is. I am merely the Rachel Riley to his Carol Vorderman. That's what I will say.
I was desperately trying to get you to cut whilst live. If I could do the floor manager bit, but I couldn't because it was radio.
Indeed. So alongside Ben Lockwood, we have another guy who consistently qualifies for World Finals and consistently does reasonably well. In this one, but Justin Fisher. Probably the second highest up West Countryman, I think.
If the World Final was at Skegness,
indeed.
We would have him as an outsider for this, because for whatever reason, Justin is a master of Skegness, and he came from way down the grid on his semi-final to end up here. Hennisford, I'm not really sure, but hey, he's got as good a chance as any around him there, that's for sure, to pick up the pieces, because if all the big guns at the front decide they're going to blow each other up, then yeah, Justin could well go to the podium.
2020 World Final. There's your favourite. Skegness. Well,
I shouldn't think Justin's thinking that.
If we're thinking about new Andy Morris, there's a new Dave Luscombe, because Dave Luscombe used to like Skeggy as well, didn't he? Yeah, there we go.
It must be something in the Devonian water.
Liam Bentham, row 7 outside, same as he started last year.
Yes, and again, another Skegness specialist, and that really showed, because let's face it, he could have won that semi-final after that restart. He was right in the mix, and he actually entered the last lap third and came out of the last bend fifth, which of course makes a big difference on a World Final grid, particularly him, because it's ended up with him 3 rows further back than he would have been. But
never mind. But certainly another bloke who's done the miles this year, which is brilliant. He certainly put on a good show for everyone. And it's been one of those shows where he's been here, there, and everywhere. I think, like I say, I think I said in my previews, which I don't know whether they're using them or not. I did give them to Dave Goddard. He's according to my experience, I think I see him more. I've seen him more this year than I see my family. Probably he's seen me more than he's seen his family. But there you go. Alongside him, another bloke who likes to travel a bit. We often see him down in the West Country. It's Tom Adcroft for his Virgin appearance in the World Final. Yes.
Is it really? All right. Well, there you go. So, and also we've got a whole Northwest England row here. Both Lancashire drivers, Tom Adcroft, Liam Bentham.
Indeed.
Again, Tom Adcroft, much the same as Justin Fisher. If all of those big boys in front decide they're going to play war games, then Tom Adcroft is easily fast enough to pick up the pieces. Look at the
Oh,
British
yes,
Championship
indeed.
this year. Look at the Saturday night final of the European weekend with the Steve Green, where he was chasing Michael Green in the Steve Green Memorial.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
I mean,
highly
yes,
capable.
quick. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but yes, I think we've got it here. There you have it. So that's a concept.
He wasn't in last year's. He wasn't at Taunton.
Like I say, I think I said in my
Liam-
previews, which I don't know whether they're using them or not. I did.
With the Steve Green, where he was chasing.
Yeah, I did finish it. I thought I did. Oh, it just took me by surprise. I was elsewhere. I've been publicising my calendar, which is on sale tomorrow. Just a limited run of 50 calendars for tomorrow. So come and get them quick. There's no stand this year. Literally, it is very much a last minute affair. The fact that the calendars are only printed literally this afternoon, and fantastic stuff. But it's great to see that these drivers completely having a fresh go, and the rest of it caught me completely by surprise. That's the thing. It's what happens. I had live radio. See, I don't pre-record stuff. Well, I just did that, but never mind, eh? It's Jonny Hoare with you here on the World Final Preview Show here on Stocks Radio. We'll be looking next at the remaining rows. So that's rows, the top 4 rows. And also we'll be looking at those international entries as well. So, all to come in just a wee tick. Stick with Stocks Radio. We love you. He says, trying to find an advert. He hasn't got one yet, but he has now. Missed an episode of Stocks Radio? I feel your pain, brother. Missing an episode can bring on mental episodes and life-changing circumstances. However, there is a solution on the horizon. iTunes! Simply open up iTunes, go to podcasts and search for Stocks Radio. Hit subscribe and it doesn't cost you a penny. And the next episode is dropped straight into your listening device. Rate, review and subscribe and never miss an episode again. Warning, missing an episode doesn't actually bring on mental episodes. Your experience may differ. The end stops can go down as well as up. Your home is at risk if you set fire to it.
Life's good. Share the Stocks love on Twitter at Stocks Radio or Facebook.com/Stocks Radio. Maybe you too could get some sweet Stocks loving.
What do you mean that's all they got available? That's all that's left? My pedal?
At the end of the day, it doesn't bother me.
The F2 Show.
So welcome to the F2 Show's World Final Preview Show. Hello if you're listening in a caravan. Hello if you're listening in a travel lodge somewhere on the M6. It's great to have you here. So all roads lead to Hensford. Well, they usually do anyway. They usually stop just before that. Obviously, if you're coming from the southwest or southeast and you're heading north, it's where the traffic stops usually around junction 12 of the M6. If you're coming down to Hensford and it's your first time, it's a very big track. Very, very big track. And all I can say about Hensford is there's 2 claims to fame. Now, I've put it on the old, you've got to go to Wikipedia, really, to have a look and see what's happening with regard to Hensford Hills. Now, Hensford, as we know, there's a couple of claims to fame that there is. It's it's the biggest short oval track in the country, and I will say this now, it's also one of the biggest tarmac tracks in the country, as I just mentioned. But did you know about Hensford Hills? It's just on the outskirts of Cannock Chase, approximately a mile from the town of Hensford. It was built in 1952. Circuit was built in 1952, utilising the site of a former reservoir.